Right, what's going on, you beautiful bastards? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's your favorite bold guy here, and today talking about Deathloop. Deathloop is a game released by Arcane Studio, the developers of Dishonored and Prey, one of my favorite games of all time. So I was quite excited about this game, you can say. But it did leave me quite bitter at the end. So to go into the game, you're stuck in a time loop, there's endless killing and creepy masked people. Honestly, that sounds like a dream. Well, no, it isn't really. The concept of the game is fantastic. Allow me to explain at the beginning. Your name is Coles, it's the 1960s, and it's the island of Black Reef. You wake up on the beach, all hangover, not knowing where you are, not knowing who you are, and slowly over time, you regain your memory. You meet a lady, her name is Juliana. She's one of the visionaries of the loop, protecting it so it will maintain forever. And to get out of this loop, you have to kill the 8 visionaries. So, how does the game work? Well, a day is split in 4 sections. Morning, noon, afternoon, and evening. And yeah, it's your goal to figure out a plan, a super plan, to kill all of them within those 4 sections, right? How were the missions? Well, Dishonored had great missions. However, this game, the missions were really disappointing and also repetitive. Sometimes you would have to go back into a place, for example, Nordam, which is like upper on the mountain, just to read one note and leave again. Now, normally that won't be a big problem, as there's a lot to explore. However, as I started making my character stronger instead of maining the missions, I was fast, deathly, and untouchable. Already knowing all the areas and making my breeze through the stories 13 hours opposed to the mentioned 25, which is quite sad. Still, I enjoyed those 13 hours, but yeah, it was like, shit, already? Fuck, dude, I already finished it? Damn. So, yeah, there were some cool parts where you would infiltrate a party, you would infiltrate a bunker and a club, and, well, you name it, there's a bunch more. But you had to do that stealthy. And now you might be wondering, why do I have to do that stealthy? Didn't you just say there were like guns and I can see it on the background? Well, yeah, that's a great way to move into the next subject, the weapons and the combat. Now, Dishonored and Prey were known for their good combat, the great stealth, and, well, a bunch more, like the special effects, the abilities, and, well, you name it. Now, Deathloop mixes the stealth and combat of the two of them and puts them together. Now, first off, that sounds really good, but then you realize that whenever you shoot a single weapon, everyone comes to hunt you down, and there's only 2 silenced options. A garbage nail gun with the fire rate of a pea shooter, or the SMG found in the complex. This is the only suppressed weapon in the entire game, and it was the weapon that I all of a sudden started maining together with these 2 pistols that you could find. Because there's all kinds of special weapons that you can find. Every visionary has their own special weapon and their power-ups, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, it was just stupid that whenever I wanted to use these sick weapons and I'd shoot one cunt, everyone would know where I am. So all I could do is grab my SMG, pop everyone in the head, or, you know, slice their throats. But it was constantly the same. All the enemies were the same. There was not like a certain enemy that you had to do this for or that for. They were all the same fragile humans. So that was pretty disappointing, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Now you might think that's kind of cool. I love chaos and I'm good in shooters. Well, I was playing on medium difficulty and it would take me less than 4 shots to die. My man was a glass cannon, meaning that I did a lot of damage, but the second I got hit, I would break just like that. Not to mention, whenever you tried to shoot with the assault rifle, your muzzle flash would block your entire POV, and, well, the aim down sides was garbage. It was very clumpy to talk about that. So I just completely saw away from all non-silenced weapons unless it was like a sniper and it was in a distance. And then, even then, somehow they would still figure out where you are. Very weird. Now, of course, you can get upgrades, which I will explain in a little bit, but that's like later in the game. And if you don't know where the SMG is, or you find it as I did, you are basically playing an extremely slow game. Maybe some people their taste, but not mine. So, I mentioned upgrades earlier, so let's get into that. The upgrades. Now, opposed to a regular leveling system or skill point based system, Deathloop comes with something new. Trinkets, little amulets you can equip to get certain boosts, whether it be extra damage, more stealth, higher regen, double jump, and well, you name it. Think about it, it's probably in there. Not much to say about this, as this also implies with the weapons. In general, a really cool feature, as it allows you to change your game style on the go, right? Which I fucked with. It was sad that you could only have 4, and some of them you were like, yeah, I really need this. This is way more overpowered. So it would have been sick if they made it that you can, with like the residue, which is the currency you use and you farm from items around the area, you could mix them together and, for example, get a double jump trinket that also gives you extra ammo. That would have been sick to see something like that, but I guess maybe it would have been too overpowered at that point, which all I can say is add more difficult enemies, right? But that's just me, right? Talking about game styles, of course, as this is an arcane title, there is no lack of special abilities. Now, in this game, they're called slaps. They are literally power-ups, like the teleportation, turning invisible, linking multiple people up and killing them all at once. You have the rage, which is like in every game, you take less damage, you do more damage, and there was something called kinesis, which would allow you to lift people in the air and yeet them to the side. Very satisfying, by the way. I really like that. But again, you could only use 2 of those, and I would have loved to see some way to either change that on the fly, maybe somewhere on the level, or, well, that's just me, right? That's my opinion. So, as I mentioned previously, the day would constantly loop, meaning that all items gained will disappear. However, after you finish the prologue, you will be able to infuse items using residue. As I stated, the energy found randomly on glowing items in the loop, meaning they transition with you through the loop. A cool feature in theory, but kind of flawed, as infusing is not very expensive, and killing one visionary grants you 10,000 residue. Now, this is not a one-time thing either. You can grab a weapon you want, kill one visionary, and infuse it. Same goes with all the trinkets, weapon upgrades, slabs, you name it. Meaning that after you finish the prologue, you can grind out your character extremely fast and breeze through the game like it's absolutely nothing. And I didn't even look anything up, right? The visionaries. So I told you that there were 8 visionaries, 9 actually, including yourself. They all have their little backstory and personalities. However, as you did not have a single bond with these people, you are not invested in them whatsoever. They could literally replace them with anyone or anything, and it would not make a difference. This was kind of disappointing, as in previous games, I got really attached to some of the characters, and some of the characters I was really angry with, and I just did not have that with this game, unless I died in a level that I was like, ah, fuck this guy, I want to absolutely destroy him. But that was it. There was not really any closer connection besides that. The multiplayer. Opposed to past titles for Arcane Studios, this game features a online mode. Juliana, as I mentioned prior, one of the visionaries, will hunt you down sometimes, and whenever she does, it will be controlled by a player. This was fun in theory again, but you would rubber band all over the place. Same with being the invader yourself and going into a game, if you could even find a match. I decided to turn this feature off. As you can see in the background, you would lag, sound would disappear, and a bunch of other garbage stuff.
Very funny.
So, now I just reviewed most of the gameplay. What are the graphic likes, and, well, were there any bugs? Well, you can see in the background, the game looks alright, but a bit dated. It doesn't look much better than Dishonored 2, which released in 2017. I could even argue that Prey, atmospherically, was prettier, and that released in 2017. Oh, sorry, I don't think Dishonored 2... Yeah, you get the point. Whilst the game looked alright, it ran like an absolute garbage. I was playing on an RTX 3070 and an i7 10700K and had multiple random crashes, lag spikes, and once the game even hard crashed my entire computer, forcing me to restart. This also happened on stream. Disappointing. throughoutly disappointing. It was eating my VRAM like it was nothing, even though I got like 8,000, right? It didn't matter if I put it on low or high, it would remain at 6.8, completely filling it all up and lagging all over the place. So with that said, what is my conclusion? The good. A fun play to game and fuck around with. A cool new approach to progress and many side puzzles and quests. And the concept is phenomenal. The bad. Performance both graphically and connection-wise are terrible. Repetitive missions, so much reading, and pretty expensive. So in total conclusion, the game is fun, nothing extremely special, but a nice way to experience a worse version of Dishonored with guns. Crashed too many fucking times and is overpriced for what is delivered. Also, the reviews by publishers are a fucking joke. I'll give it a 6.8 out of 10, would have been higher if it wasn't for the high price. Thank you for watching, hope you had a good one. Like, subscribe, see you in the next one. Peace!